What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. It is your boy Cookie Grandson, and today we will be diving into all of my plants. Now, before we get into all of that, as always, I would like to thank all of my current subscribers for all of your support. It is greatly appreciated. And if you are new to the channel, be sure to drop a like and subscribe. It is completely free. It's not like I'm trying to sell you an ebook or anything. Turn on your notification bell so you don't miss out on any future content. And yeah, let's go ahead and dive into it. Like I said, this video is going to be all of the plants that I have scattered around the house. When it comes down to my plants, I have aquatic, I have traditional house plants, I have my indoor garden that I'm building right now. So you guys basically get to see a little bit of a mixture of everything. Now, granted, I don't have as many plants as you guys would normally see in other people's videos, but that is the reason why I am doing this video. So over time, years from now, probably even months from now, when I do have a whole bunch of different plants and my indoor garden has just started doing its own thing and producing consistently, I can always come back, check out this video and just see the progression of where I started at. It's always humbling to see where you started. And I'm pretty sure it's a lot of people out there who probably want to start this too. So welcome to the family. Keep up with the journey by subscribing and turning on notification bells. Let's go ahead and get into it. Wait, hold up. Before we get into it, I would like to tell you guys, now when it comes down to the names of these, I will be popping them up on the screen because almost all of our plants have actual names. I'll probably be saying their name in the actual video, but on the screen it will have like the scientific name that you guys can check out, and you know, you can pause the video, write it down, or put it in Google so you guys can see it or look up more info on it and stuff like that. All right, but now let's go ahead and get into it. So first, we will be starting out with the tank. So if you guys are new to the channel, you guys may not know about my tank. So this is a self-sustaining ecosystem tank, which basically means this whole entire tank takes care of itself, all right? So we do have some aquatic plants in there which provide oxygen to the ecosystem down below, which are guppies, auto catfish, snails, shrimp, all of that good stuff, okay? So up here, the huge plant right here are Amazon swords, okay? So with these Amazon swords, they self-propagate, which is very, very beginner friendly-ish because you don't have to do anything, all right? All you have to do is make sure that they get enough sunlight. They just grow, all right? When I first got this plant, they actually weren't sticking out of the top, but they have grown like crazy. It's only been in the tank for probably like 3 weeks maybe, and it has grown completely. We have new leaves everywhere all throughout this tank. So yeah, very cool and beginner friendly aquatic plant if you guys do want to check that out. Now, in the back there, that is a golden pothos, okay? So I ended up propagating Sebastian, which you guys will see later in this video. I ended up propagating him, and I actually stuck this clipping in the tank, and I'm just gonna pull it up out of the water so you guys can see. All right, those are the roots down at the bottom. So I just literally sat it in there, and my guy just kept growing. And since I've put him in there, for one, he's grown probably like 2 or 3 inches maybe, and has blossomed probably like 5 leaves by now. And then we have a new one on the way. So this tank right here does produce a lot of nutrients for other plants, which is what I just love, because the water in here is also what I water like the indoor garden with because it has so many more nutrients. This is all natural spring water, but with all of the plants and the species within the water, they all bring and contribute their own thing to help all of our plants continue growing. So those are the main 2 big ones that you can see up there, like very, very obvious. But also inside, I'm sorry for the glare, you guys probably can't see it, but that is Italian Val. Italian Val is also self-propagating, and it creates like this grass-like effect within your tank. All right, so our Italian Val, it isn't growing as fast as I wanted it to, and we honestly haven't planted enough like I would want, but I will be adding some more. But when it comes down to the Italian Val, self-propagating as well, just shoots off runner leaves, and eventually it will just continue going around the tank, and I will have basically just all grass throughout the tank. Okay, so that's it for basically all of the aquatic plants. We also have bacopas, but you really can't see them in there. But yeah, so that is the tank with all of the aquatic plants. As of right now, I do have other smaller setups of aquatic plants. That's the only reason why I'm not addressing these top floaters up here, because we have separate setups for them where you can see them better. So on into the next set of plants. So in the office right here, I have a lot going on, okay? So we're just gonna start from the right and work our way left. So this is a succulent right here, Kalahari, and she honestly, we don't do anything to her, okay? We literally just sit her here and she just thrives, all right? With succulents, they can take a lot of sunlight, so you don't have to really be too much on top of your succulents. Literally just sit them in the window and they do their own thing. Water it every blue moon, you know what I'm saying? It's not super hard to keep these alive. So we got our succulent right here. And this is what's floating on top of the self-sustaining aquarium, which is dwarf water lettuce, all right? So with the dwarf water lettuce, they basically have a whole bunch of roots, as you can see like down there. They also help provide more oxygen within the tank, even though they are top floaters. They just are a beautiful addition and maybe like a table piece, which you will see later in this video as well, because this is not the only one of these that I have. I do have an Etsy store where I basically just breed these and other aquatic species. So if you want to check that out, the link will be down in the description below, but this is just one of them right here. Also another one with the water lettuce on top and a little bit of water spangle is what they call them. So we have this one right here, and I call this one the Bacopa bowl because I have Bacopas planted underneath, and this is going to be like my breeding pit for Bacopas. Now, this one right here, we will honestly get back to this later in the video because we are planning something new today. But this right here is a garden incubator that I ended up making. So if you guys are curious, all of this glassware is from Hobby Lobby in the floral section. All right, if you go to Hobby Lobby and you catch them on a 50% off sale, this right here is only like $10. So you can really load up on all kinds of glassware for your plants and all kinds of stuff, okay? So here we go right here in our incubator. This right here is an herb garden, believe it or not, okay? So we have rosemary, basil, and parsley growing in here. As of right now, you can see where it is just now sprouting. It sprouted honestly like a few days ago, but it sprouted even more. So honestly, all we're doing is just starting off the growth process. We want them to root good enough. And we're going to get a breeding basket and we're going to sit it over here. And basically we're going to use this water right here to feed our indoor garden. Well, some of our indoor garden. And we're going to grow plants out of the fish tank itself. Like literally, we're going to be growing vegetables and fruits out of this tank, okay, with the breeding baskets. I have to get some more of those, so that's the only reason why we haven't done it right now, and our plants aren't developed enough yet. But that's what we have going on up here, and then we're going to step over to the side. Again, this is a little makeup of our indoor garden as well. So over here we have baby spinach. The baby spinach actually sprouted. I don't know if I can, I'm gonna try to focus so you guys can see it. So there we go. Our baby spinach has definitely sprouted, and this growth is just from today. So I actually saw earlier that it had sprouted, but I had questioned myself because it was so small. So when it comes down to my indoor garden, I actually rotate all of these glasses and I put them in the window, and then I put them back in the living room every so often. So with this right here, it was today's day to actually rotate it towards the window, and this actually sprouted in like no time, okay? I literally left the house for maybe like an hour to run some errands, and I came back and that was there. I do a little rotational type thing. I'll make a video on that if you guys are interested in that. Drop that down in the comments if you guys want to know how do I rotate all of my plants in my garden and stuff like that. And then over here, we actually have some bell peppers, okay? They actually haven't sprouted yet, but you know, we're just gonna be patient. We just planted these a few days ago, so I'm not in a super major rush, okay? But you know, the baby spinach right there, soon we should possibly see something coming up out of there. So that's it basically with these handful of plants over here with the tank and, you know, the indoor garden stuff. Now we're going to make our way into the living room after we walk past this big guy sleeping in the doorway. So just because this video is a tour, here is another bowl of the water lettuce, which I sell on Etsy, and the water spangle, which is also available on Etsy if you're interested in those. Again, like I said, I just really feel like they're nice like table pieces. And one thing I like about these glasses is you can sit this on top of this. We're going to try to do this carefully with one hand. That's on there pretty centered. So here we go. That's that little table piece right there. And the coolest thing about this table piece is that it actually changes. So with these plants provide oxygen. All right. So while these plants are providing oxygen, Tango, jeez. So back to what we were saying before the interruption. When it comes down to these plants right here, plants actually provide oxygen, if you guys did not know that. But the cool thing about this little table piece, if you actually leave this top one on there long enough, this will actually fog up because these plants are producing oxygen, but the oxygen actually can't escape through the top, which causes this to fog up. And it actually looks pretty cool. The next time it does happen, I'm gonna try to take a picture. Follow me on Instagram if you guys want to see like updates or just photography of all of these plants in general. That is also down in the description below. But yeah, it's actually pretty cool. And this piece just looks very unique. All right, this actually wasn't planned, but after I got them all, I found out that this could work. And yeah, so now we have Hector and Jorge. So with them, they are very tough guys. Okay, let me just say that. So I've knocked these two over so many times. They have been crooked for so long. They're straighter now. We try to keep them as straight as possible. But yeah, we have knocked these two over so many times. It is ridiculous. And, you know, they're still living, so we'll take it. Very easy to take care of. We have the Planta app, which notifies us every time that we would have to water it. But honestly, you can kind of just look at your plants and tell if they need watering, or stick your finger inside of the soil, see how dry it is. But yeah, it's very easy maintenance for these two. And then here we have Paw Peter. And Peter is the same way. Some people don't have the best of luck with plants like Peter, but when you do pull it off, they pretty much just survive. Okay, so again, with Planta app gives us the notification to water him. Honestly, out of everybody, we keep our eye on Peter as much as possible because he's more of a special plant, not playing favorites or anything, but he's a special plant and he means a lot to us. So we do tend to check on him very often, and we try to make sure we do everything as perfect as possible. And we've had him for what, like 2 years maybe? Never had an issue. I will knock on wood after this video to make sure I don't jinx myself with anybody. But yeah, they sit over here in the living room. We have a lot of east facing windows in this house, so you know, they get a decent amount of pure natural sunlight. And yeah, so they just sit over there and they just chill out in the living room. And here's Tango again in the way. And over here we have Pepper. So with Pepper, she was actually in pretty rough condition when we got her from Lowe's, like very rough condition. We didn't think we would be able to bring her back, but she is now thriving. She's sitting on like this little step, but I don't know exactly what we're gonna do next. We kind of want to get her off of the floor and give her like breathing room. As you can see, she's like growing into the window and kind of sort of running out of space in this little corner right here. So we're trying to figure out exactly what we're going to do. I did just do a little small build in my last video if you guys want to check that out. So I think I'm going to do a part 2 and continue building so we can get this kind of handled. But honestly, she's doing pretty good. Gave us a run for our money at first, but now she's just beautiful. And we call her Pepper because she looks like banana peppers. If you look at the leaves, it's like the same color of a banana pepper, and she's very pretty. As if for Pepper right there. And now on into our indoor garden area and Sebastian. So if you remember that cutting, I cut that clipping off of this guy right here. This guy has given us no problems, okay? Sebastian is, I don't know what it is. We are just super lucky. Golden pothos are honestly pretty easy to take care of, but out of all of the other plants we've had like a handful to actually die, and Sebastian throughout that whole entire time was like, he brought us peace because he was the only one that was not giving us problems, okay? So with him, even if he just starts to shrivel up just a little bit, we literally missed him and he just blossoms back out. Grows like crazy. This is a new leaf right here. This is a new leaf. Grown probably like an inch since I've even done the indoor garden. That's a new leaf on the end right there, which is so weird because this is like the first few days that he's actually been in the living room. We typically keep him in the office. But again, never given us a problem. But this is the indoor garden shelf. So the spinach goes on this side and the bell peppers go on this side. And the reason why I do a rotation is because I just don't think enough sunlight comes in through here to get to this opposite side. I mean, clearly enough gets into where the baby spinach has sprouted already, but I just feel like they need a little bit more sunlight, so that's why I just rotate them in and out. But we got this one right here, and then in the future, I'm probably gonna do one that's like slanted, and I'm gonna put like little small pieces of wood and super glue it to a board, so all of the plants can like be at an angle, but not actually fall off of the end. Yeah, that's it for the living room, the indoor garden area. Got Pepper, Hector, Jorge, and Peter. And now, the final one, our big gal, Ella, okay? Ella is just in our bedroom, living her best life. Another one that has just not given us any problems. She's fairly large, okay? I'm 6'2", and you can see that her leaves almost folds up my hand like a little taco. Okay, so very, very beautiful. We've had her for a good little while as well. She has definitely grown a lot since we've had her. Again, no issues. Another east facing window right here. So yeah, she's just doing wonderful, and honestly, just no complaints. But yeah, she's just very, very beautiful. She just sits here. She's been sitting here for months, no problems. We water her whenever Planta tells us to, and yeah. Now back to the office to run back into this one right here. So the reason why nothing is in this bulb is because I used up all of the seeds that we had, and this was just an extra one. So I went out and got some caladium, and I don't know, I just got this motivation honestly from one of my coworkers, and he said typically what he does is he goes out, if he sees a plant that he likes, it forces him to like do the research and actually try to care for him, and he just tries his luck and see if he can keep it alive. So that motivated me enough to try the same thing. So hopefully it does go ahead and sprout and blossom into this beautiful plant. I've always loved these. I'm honestly a huge fan of ivy and elephant ears. Okay, so anything that even looks similar to elephant ears, I'm going for it every single time. Okay, so this is the little pot that it's going in at the moment. I'm going to put a little bit more dirt in there though. But yeah, so there are 5 bulbs in here. So we're just going to take out a couple of the bulbs. We're going to put it in here. Of course, this is not going to be big enough to house this big guy. So, of course, whenever we get the sprouts and stuff like that, we'll upgrade as we go. But we have to put this to use for right now. So that is what we will do. So that is it for all of the plants that I do have at the moment. Now, again, I will probably have so many plants shortly because I don't know. It's just a hobby that I've gotten into, especially like with the tank. And I don't know. It's got me going crazy. And it's really, really interesting. I love science. And I just want to try to see if I can pull it off. This is just one of those hobbies that are just oddly satisfying because when these do sprout and when they do blossom into full plants, you're like, dang, like I actually did that. Okay, I just really feel like that is very, very dope. And I don't know, I just like it. And also when it comes down to my plants, I have gotten into like the plant breeding. So of course, aquatic plants wise, I will definitely have way more. I have so many projects that are lined up, just waiting for us to move first, and then I can do those projects. But yeah, every window in the house is an east facing window. So we do get a pretty good amount of sunlight through the first half of the day for sure. Hopefully our next place has even more windows and not just stuck from the east side. We can just get windows in general, have a lot of natural sunlight coming in. So whenever I do the actual plant room, hint, hint, wink, wink, subscribe so you guys don't miss out on that. We can actually be able to be more versatile with the choosing of plants, okay? So we can just, you know what I'm saying, we just go crazy with our next place if it has enough windows. Just go crazy. And 99% of these plants that I do have at the moment, we got all of these plants from Walmart and Lowe's, okay? We did not go to like this specific person who's the plant plug, none of that, okay? We typically just go to Walmart and Lowe's and find a plant that we like and just see if we can keep it alive. If we can keep it alive, we keep them. Okay, some die, some live, but that's just part of the game. It happens, all right? But yeah, this is the beginning of my plant journey, and I'm very happy that I got this video knocked out because I have been thinking about this for a while. I've always thought about doing like a house plant tour, but at the time that I thought about it, I was like, we ain't got enough plants for that. I don't need nobody cracking too many jokes. Granted, I still don't have a lot, but I don't think somebody could actually just crack that many jokes on me, okay? So it kind of limit the number of jokes that can get cracked up on me. But yeah, that's it for today's video. Thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you did enjoy. Again, if you are new to the channel, be sure to drop a like and subscribe. All we do basically is just vibe out, have a good time, and do DIY projects. You know what I'm saying? That's just what we do. And breed plants now. We might as well just add that to the list. And to all of my current subscribers, I would like to thank you guys for all of your support. It is greatly appreciated. The channel has just been growing crazy lately, and I just cannot thank you guys enough. But I will see you guys in the next one. I'm out.